Hey guys, welcome back to Vinceville Customs. So today I'm sharing with you a Spider-Man garage kit that I just finished painting up for someone. I did do a review on this a while back. I'll link that in the description. It was hell of a beast to paint up. It was a lot of work out because the base itself comes in two pieces. It's very heavy and large. I did do it on live stream, so those who came into my live streams, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I can't put him on my turntable because with him and the two bases on that, it wobbles a lot, and I'm afraid that it might crack or break it because I don't think the turntable can handle all this heavy parts on it. So sadly, we're just kind of showing him now, and then we'll split it up with going over the base, and then we'll go over Spider-Man. Now, one of the cool things about this for doing for someone, he actually made up a generic base himself, and he sent it out to Metajohn in Canada, and Metajohn etched the Daily Bugle on it. So this way he can display Spider-Man for a while until he can redo his display, where he can actually display this corner piece as a centerpiece for his collection. What we might do down the line is, I'm not sure yet, is maybe down the line he might want to add some more elements to the base, like a black cat if there's one out there being made, or one that's in scale he wants to add to it. Maybe we can add her onto there. Personally, I think maybe probably take Spider-Man and turn him over to the corner back there and have a black cat on the corner here. I don't know, we'll see. Something might happen down the line, so we never know if this might come back to me and I customize it with something else. I think the base is just missing a couple elements, you know, Sinister Six elements kind of all over the base or something. Those two little black cats that are in the corner that go up there, it's kind of like a good start, but it still needs a little bit more. But I don't know, maybe the people who produce this might be adding more characters. Like if they make a black cat sitting on a corner top or somewhere, you can actually take that black cat and drill a hole onto the base and add her. That's kind of a cool idea. So I don't know, we'll kind of go over it. So it just being too big for my camera, I can't really twist them around with all this stuff. So let's break down the base first, and then after that we'll go on to Spider-Man and close out the video. Okay, so here's the base. I like to thank those who came into my Picardo live streams when I was working on this. It was kind of fun. You know, whenever I get a chance, I want to do more of those Picardos. So as you can see, this kind of splits up from there, so you can separate this piece if you really wanted to. But the only problem is if you want to put this base on you know, like a table or something, you have to put some kind of rubber pieces on it or it's going to really scrape up. But if you put the rubber pieces on it now, it won't connect. So that's kind of like a little bit of a downside. So I did a lot of dry brushing, a lot of washes. I tried to bring out some of this wood and everything underneath in there, make it old looking. I decided to give like a lot of red bricks and stuff. I did the symbiote paint up and just kind of did a lot of washings and just kind of just tried to separate it a little bit more. It's an old building, you know, if it's up high, it's a lot of, you know, if it's rocks and stuff like this, it's, you know, probably got a lot of dirt and washes and, like, stains and stuff, so that's kind of what I went with. But you could do a lot of different things. If you wanted to make it like a white marble building, you could go that route. There's lots of options, but I figured Spider-Man would have something a little bit darker like this. So, with that being said, let me put Spider-Man over here, and we could kind of go over him. Alright, so here's Spider-Man. I like the idea that he went with a nice generic base for now, so he can fit it in his display until he's ready to pop out the big base and add stuff onto it or anything down the line. But I think this worked out pretty well. So as far as the base that he made up was pretty simple. It's just something he put in a container. I don't know how he made it, but he's been doing a lot of this stuff on himself, which is good. You know, people are able to go out and buy a resin and make a generic base. And then what he did is he sent it out to Metajohn in Canada, and he etched the Daily Bugle symbol on there, and then I just kind of did a lot of washes and stuff to bring it out. So he just kind of went with that like old whitish type marble for him, just for now, kind of just fits in his display. And that is the base we came up with. Now, as far as Spider-Man goes, I like the sculpt a lot. I like the eyes, I like the heads, the body's great. Now, one of the things I would have changed on this is I think it's over texturized, and I think that's one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of companies and a lot of Facebook guys and stuff are kind of going a little too crazy. Sometimes simple is better. So the texture on the blue I like a lot. It feels like spandex. I always envision Spider-Man, you know, when he's bending and twisting his body and he's flipping around, that this stuff is always movable for his body. So I always envision this is like spandex and this is spandex, so he can move the body and he can twist and everything. Whereas I always thought the red would be better looking like a mahogany leather. because you know, you figure it's a little bit more durable for the arms and the hands for punching, kicking, or whatever. The feet, you know, kind of like boots and stuff. I always envisioned that would be leather and this would be spandex, you know, because if you figure he made the outfit in his you know, his house, and he makes it on his own, you figure these are kind of materials he can get. So that's kind of what I thought. So I feel the blue is good texturized, but I think the red is overdone. I think, you know, sometimes, you know, people I think need to step back from over texturizing stuff, at least in certain items. Now, I wouldn't mind have seen the red texturized in a leather, where it's kind of like broken up a little bit in all the places, and if you did some washes, it could look like a really cool leather. That's something I would love to see somebody do. But then again, I'm not a Spider-Man fan, really, and I don't really, you know, it's not like a make or break for me. It's just something I would like to see. You know, because you see this texture, you see this texture, and this is all textured, and all of a sudden you have the symbol that's not textured. So it's kind of like, did we get lazy on that point, or did we just kind of like, that was a design idea? I don't know. But that's just a personal preference. But other than that, I painted it up in a spandex blue type thing, so there's kind of like an interference blue there. So to make it look spandex, and I kind of dulled it down so it's not super shiny. It may look shiny in the lights here, but it's not as potent in person. And then the red is kind of mahogany with red shading and lights and shadows and stuff. And then I hit it with a very, very light interference red, but nothing too crazy. Only just to try to make the texture pop out a little bit more since it was there. Now, he did ask me that, can we sand down the red texture, and I said no, there's no way. By the time I sand that down, we would probably lose all the line work, because the line work is etched in, and it was impossible. But, you know, it's really good. It's a good sculpt. I do like the idea of the sculpt with the unmasked head. So we do have the big eyes, which is kind of like what McFarlane. And then we do have the smaller eyes, which I think is what Ramada, if that I'm say that right, I forget. I'm not really, like I said, a huge Spider-Man fan. And then we have the unmasked head, which is kind of cool. Now, I did do my research. He does have brown eyes, brown hair. So I just wanted to make sure that I knew the correct colors when I did that. And then one of the cool things that they did do is you have an unmasked Peter Parker, and you do have him being able to hold the mask in his hand. So that is a nice touch than just saying, okay, we have an unmasked head with the mask is missing, and he's just sitting there without his mask. So that's a cool thing. And then he does have the open hand fist, as you can see here. So if you want to put that hand on there, he's got the open hand fist. And those are all the elements to him. And then, of course, the two black cats. So these two black cats, they go up on the base, but I don't want to put them up there or they might fall or whatever. But I think out of all the elements, I like the closed fists and I like the large eyes. That's kind of like the Spider-Man I remember. At least that's kind of McFarlane type look, and that's kind of what I'm used to. But other than that, that is the Spider-Man paint-up. Let me know what you think. Do you like the idea of a leather red, or do you like the idea that it's all textured this way? Like, we all have different preferences in the hobby. I know some people might say this is the absolute grail. I love it. Other people might say, you know, I don't like textures on my items. It's just the way the hobby's going, and it's the way sculptors and programs are, you know, being able to let you do these type of things now. So we'll see a lot of variations as we go on. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.